Now, the second issue that I have, or second concern that I have on my students is this, okay? Uh, for questions like number 11, okay? What I'm afraid of is that when students are looking at this, they are not really automatic. Like my expectation is that when you see x squared minus 64, like you cannot even stop your brain from yelling at you that is x plus 8 and x minus 8. Okay, like if you know what I'm talking about, okay, if you know what you're doing with factoring, like you just look at x squared minus 64, and within a second you have x plus 8, x minus 8 right there screaming at you in your mind, and you just go ahead and write it. Now, the reason why I think this is a top concern is because um like why would people not see it? Okay, my guess is that people who don't see it, they tend to not, either they don't do all the exercises that I assigned, or when they were doing the homework, they were not really focused doing the homework, so it's time wasted. Okay, like it's better off not doing any homework because you did the homework and you didn't really register what you have done. So this is why I would say when you focus, when you do work, focused. Okay, be very focused when you do work. Okay, now, and the reason I want to use a question like number 11 to illustrate this point is because I want to use this as a leverage to talk about number 15. Okay, now, for number 15, when you see four terms, it's going to be something with grouping, okay? So you have x squared, and then for the first two terms, so you have x minus 2, okay, left behind. And then for the second one, you factor out the -9, so you have x minus 2 again, and pretty obvious that you have x minus 2 right there. And you have x minus 2 factored out one more time. So you have x minus 2 factored out. So what's left? X squared minus 9. Now, some people will stop right there. And if you stop right here, I'm sorry, you are not going to get full credit. You get some credit, but not full credit. And why? Because you are not sensitive enough to see that x squared minus 9 could be further factored. And x squared minus 9 is x plus 3, x minus 3. Now, at this point, I can see why you might feel a little bit puzzled why we're doing all this kind of factoring. Like, what good does it do? Um, I would agree with this kind of narrative or perspective, because when I was at your stage, I felt the same thing because my teacher definitely did not tell me what good it does. And now, what if I tell you, okay, this is just a sneak peek. If you don't get it, that's fine, but just going to give you a sneak peek, okay? Now I'm going to use Desmos, and I'm going to put the factored form right here. X minus 2, right? X minus 2. Well, that's y equal, yeah, x minus 2. And then x plus 3. And then x minus 3. All right, so now, so what you see here is a graph. And what's so important about this graph is that once you have the factor form, take a look for yourself. Can you see the roots or the x-intercepts? Can you see the numbers of the x-intercepts, the x coordinates of the x-intercepts? I hope you can now see the reason why we factored. Because if you keep it as x squared minus 9, then the 3 and -3 would not be very explicit. But after we factored it, it actually gives you more, explicit information that, oh, you know what? For this particular function, you got 3 roots. Okay, you got 3 roots, you got 3 x-intercepts. And where are they? Oh, at 2, 0, 3, 0, and -3, 0. So that's really why we keep factoring, is to just be prepared for the future, for the future topics, okay, when we do all these graphing stuff. Okay, so yeah, so that is my second top concern. My second concern is that when you have difference of perfect square, x squared minus 64, are you ready? Now, if you are the if you think you belong to the group of students that I was describing, then you're not being automatic. I can give you a good fix, quick fix, okay? Just go ahead, do this. X squared minus 1, x plus 1, x minus 1. X squared minus 4, x plus 2, x minus 2. And keep going, okay? X squared minus 9, x plus 3, x minus 3. X squared minus 16, x plus 4, x minus 4. Go ahead, write this for maybe, like, go all the way to maybe x squared minus 100, okay? Let's do that, okay, for now. And then, yeah, you'll be like, oh, yeah, it's x plus 10, x minus 10. Like, when you do more, your brain can see the pattern, and the pattern is really what your brain needs to convince yourself that, oh, so that's how you do it. Okay? That's what we do. So that's my second concern. Okay? So, what about the next video? Next video, we'll just go ahead, talk about the solving part, maybe just a little thing, not that much, okay? So, yeah, just gonna mention something about solving, okay?